YouTuber, Cjflyer, Backyard Kansas, USA, sitting in the hydro hanger. If you watched the last video, you saw how I put this thing together. Well, this time we're going to talk about the three systems that I have up and running. A deep water culture, a Dutch bucket system, and an ebb and flow bed. It's been a beautiful May 25th, low 80s, sunshine, a little cloud here and there, and of course it's Kansas, so it's plenty windy. But I've gotten a lot done today. Got a raised bed started, planted, and up and running there. And then I also began a worm farm. I'm waiting for about 2,000 worms to show up here next week. And with all this talk about compost tea and worm tea, I think I better get on board with that. So, folks, let's take a little closer look at the Dutch bucket system I have with tomatoes and peppers. These are my Dutch buckets. I have 29 total. Most of them are tomatoes. I have about 6 pepper plants. The 5-gallon pails you see were free. They came from a restaurant here in town. I just made some phone calls, and they are pickle buckets, and they are coleslaw buckets, and they just simply wait for somebody to show up and take these things. So the smaller buckets came from a grocery store, and I had to pay like 25 cents for them. Just crazy high money there. Anyway, plenty of videos online on how to turn these things into Dutch buckets. A Dutch bucket is just simply a bucket with a hole in it. And so it can overflow. Put some grow media of some type in the thing, put a plant in there, get your water source to it, and you don't even have to have a return line if you don't want to. But anyway, you got yourself a Dutch bucket setup. At the bottom third of the bucket is pea gravel, which you see right there. Bottom third is pea gravel, and there's 2 reasons for that, or actually probably 3 or 4 reasons for that, but a couple of reasons are: 1, it gives it weight and stability; 2, it acts as a filter for the perlite, which is this stuff right here. Perlite is actually a volcanic product. It comes from a volcanic rock that when heated to 750, 800 degrees, it actually kind of puffs like popcorn. Extremely lightweight stuff. That's about, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 pounds at the most in that big bag. And anyway, it provides a nice sterile growing environment for those plants. So you put that perlite in there, and then you take my shovel. We'll show you here in a little bit with the handle of my shovel. Make a hole down in through the perlite. And then take the plants and wash the roots completely clean, or as much as possible. And they get all the soil off of them, because you don't want any soil in the system at all. It's just going to dirty it up. And then lower the roots down in the hole, and then take your water and water in around it so the perlite settles in around the roots. Hook up a drip system, which is what the black tube is, and hook your system to the manifold return line, and the return line goes down to the sump tank. Which I'm going to change out tomorrow, which is right there. It's a 100-gallon sump tank. It's down in the ground, so I can keep the plants low and give them more vertical space to grow up here in the hydro hanger. And also, with the tank being in the ground, there should be some thermal transfer there with the earth, some geothermal stabilization, temperature stabilization, a little bit, not much, because it's not deep in the ground, but I'm sure it helps. The nutrient in the water is Master Blend, as per recommendation from MHP Gardner. Master Blend mixed with 2 other ingredients, Epsom salt and calcium nitrate, and mixed proportionally. And about every 2.5, 3 weeks, I'll change the water out, and I put about 50 gallons of water in there, and then I put the nutrient in there and mix it up, and then let the system go. It's on an automatic watering system, which is right up here. This is just an outdoor timer made for like Christmas lights or Halloween lights, whatever. Bought down at Walmart for about 25 bucks, and I have it set up for 3 times a day, 30 minutes apiece. And that may vary depending on the heat that comes along, but anyhow, that's how it works, folks. Real simple. So let me show you a little bit of success down here while I'm at it. Right there. There's a red beefsteak, and next to that I have a Better Boy. There's 2 of them down there actually. There's actually 3 total. And then there is another Better Boy. What you see here. I started these Buttercrunch Lettuce starts. I put them in here May 10th, and there is their size, just to give you some idea. So far, they're doing great. So today's the 25th. They've been in the system 15 days, and it's a Kratky modified, if you will. Kratky system modified with an air source. I have some air pumps, and you see my bed. I'll probably start up here in the next couple of days with another round. And I think I'm going to do some kale and some spinach and see how they do. But anyway, the deep water culture, stagnant water, if you will, 30, 40 days, mixed in nutrient, and you just let it go. Don't have to run air, but based on, again, some online information, if you add a little air in there, the plants tend to do even better. So that's why I've done that. Again, that's the Kratky or modified Kratky method. And lastly, the ebb and flow. I just got it up and running. You see strawberries on the right. A tomato plant that I didn't have a space for, so I just put him in there. And then across on the other side are some ochrees, according to Reaganite 71 Senior ochre plants. You see how they've got some new leaves on them, and again a couple of herbs there. In the center is my homemade bell siphon, and you got a little guard to put on top of it so stuff doesn't go down into it. The outer shell, the outer pipe is a 3.5-inch pipe, and it's just a gravel guard. You see for my grow media it's pea gravel, and down inside you can see a standpipe and then the actual bell siphon itself. There we go, it's starting to drain, and in a second it'll catch, and you'll see all the water fill up. There it goes to the top of the glass, and it siphons itself out. It takes about 40-45 seconds to empty the bed completely. I have the bed set so that it fills and drains every 20 minutes. There's a little overflow just in case set up there, goes back in the sump tank, and then back up underneath there is where the actual bell siphons through. So folks, that's a look at the 3 systems I have up and running in the hydro hanger, the Dutch bucket, the deep water system, and the ebb and flow. They're all working. They're not perfect by any means, but they're all working. There's tomatoes growing, there's lettuce growing, there's new blossoms on the strawberries. The tomato plant is growing in the ebb and flow there. So couldn't be happier with the way things have started off here. The bell siphon that I made, I didn't expect that thing to work without hours of trying and retrying and redoing things, but it's working great, so I'm happy with that. So probably tomorrow I'm going to change out some water and some nutrients, and I've got to leave for work for a little while, so I'm going to count on a neighbor or a relative to stop in and make sure the system keeps running. By the time I return, this lettuce ought to be really close to harvest and hopefully huge, and hopefully a bunch more tomatoes on the vine, maybe even a pepper or 2. Oh, I forgot to mention there's one jalapeno pepper over there. I'm not a huge jalapeno pepper fan, but I'm going to eat that thing. So anyway, thanks so much again for taking the time, sitting down, watching this. I hope you've learned something about Dutch buckets, deep water culture, ebb and flow. If you have questions, ask. If I don't know the answer, I'll see if I can direct you to the right place. I know several guys online that can do that. MHP Gardener, Bobby, thank you for your comments on the other video. Reaganite 71, thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe if you're interested in this, and we'll see if I can't give you some updates and keep you interested. So with that, God bless and Godspeed. Cjflyer, Backyard Kansas, USA. We'll see you.